Have you ever wondered how Britney Spears went from pop princess to tabloid target and back to reclaiming her own story? Whether you were singing along to her hits or just saw the headlines, her journey is packed with drama, triumphs, and everything in between. From her explosive rise in the early 2000s to her battles behind the scenes, Britney has been more than just performances and musical journey. Here is the story behind how the music sensation broke free of her shackles and took back her own life. Long before Britney was put into the world of spotlights and glitter, she simply wanted to be a singer, perhaps even a star. From the tender age of 3, there was a twinkle in Spears' eyes that her mother couldn't ignore. Picture a little girl singing Sinead O'Connor songs with a fervor that seemed far beyond her years. Every parent thinks their child is a bit of a prodigy, but Britney's early performances hinted at something truly magical. You see, Britney was born in Macomb, Mississippi, but her formative years were spent in the even smaller town of Kentwood, Louisiana. With just 2,600 residents, Kentwood was a place where everyone knew everyone else, where money was scarce, and where life followed a predictable, modest rhythm. In this quaint setting, Britney's dreams began to take shape amidst the simplicity and close-knit community. From the start, Britney was a natural performer. She sang in the local church choir and dazzled at town talent contests. Then, one fateful day, a friend burst into her school with exciting news. The Mickey Mouse Club was holding auditions in Atlanta, Georgia. Britney, with her heart set on the big stage, managed to convince her mother to embark on the long drive for the chance of a lifetime. The journey was grueling, but it was worth every mile. Britney's audition was a showstopper, earning her a spot among the final cut from thousands of hopefuls. The Mickey Mouse Club's cast was a constellation of future stars. Christina Aguilera, Justin Timberlake, J.C. Chaussee of NSYNC, and Ryan Gosling. In the end, Britney's radiant talent shone brightly, and the show quickly became the top-rated program on the Disney Channel. It was during her time on the show that Britney first crossed paths with Justin Timberlake, which would soon lead her to a very turbulent period in her life. At the time when both Spears and Timberlake met, both were child stars from small southern towns, and their mothers, equally ambitious and supportive, had driven their careers with relentless passion. Due to that, Britney and Justin understood each other in a way only those who have navigated the tumultuous waters of child stardom could. As Britney's career began to skyrocket with the release of Baby One More Time, Justin's career was also gaining momentum. In fact, Britney opened for NSYNC on tour as her single started to climb the charts. Articles from that time often noted how Britney and Christina Aguilera had both admired Justin's charm, with Christina even remarking on his undeniable swagger. It was no surprise that Britney felt a magnetic pull toward him. With Justin, Britney could shed the glossy, over-sexualized persona and embrace her true self, the girl from Louisiana who just wanted to sing and perform. He gave her a safe space to be authentic while balancing the demands of fame with moments of genuine connection. On stage, Britney was a confident performer, but off stage, she was shy and introspective. Justin allowed her to navigate this duality with grace, while also offering support and understanding. By early 2003, Britney and Justin were the golden couple of the pop world, but behind the glittery facade, the relationship was anything but perfect. Rumors were swirling around like a storm, and the loudest of them all was the claim that Britney had cheated on Justin. The internet had a field day with all kinds of gossip, but the most believable story was that Britney had been unfaithful with a friend of theirs, none other than her choreographer. This rumor wasn't just talk, it had a grain of truth that hit Justin hard. You see, Justin took his heartbreak and channeled it into his music. He released the infamous song Cry Me a River, which was complete with a music video featuring a Britney lookalike that only fueled the speculation about her infidelity. Safe to say, that was just the beginning of the drama that was to come. Britney responded with her own emotional anthem, Every Time, which was essentially a ballad that spoke volumes about her side of the story. On Britney's side, though, the situation was a bit complicated. This is because the singer wasn't just making headlines for her music, she was also stirring up the media with her outrageous antics. Fast forward to the 2003 MTV Video Music Awards, and Britney took the stage with Madonna and Christina Aguilera in a performance that would go down in history. As if the performance wasn't electrifying enough, the two pop stars shared a kiss with Madonna that left the world gasping. It was clear that Madonna was using this moment for maximum publicity, and Britney was right there in the spotlight, caught up in the spectacle. Then came 2004, which was a year of jaw-dropping stunts. Britney, never one to shy away from the unexpected, pulled off one of her most shocking moves. In Las Vegas, she married her childhood friend Jason Allen Alexander in a spur-of-the-moment ceremony at the Little White Wedding Chapel. The wedding was a media frenzy, but the marriage was over almost before it began. Turns out it was annulled within just 55 hours, yet the headlines kept coming. Just a few months after her Vegas wedding, Britney found herself engaged to Kevin Federline, who was one of her backup dancers. Their romance was as intense as it was public, and it culminated in a wedding that kept the media buzzing throughout the year. Then, in October of that year, Britney Spears made a surprising announcement. She was hitting pause on her glittering career to focus on starting a family. It was a move that set the stage for a new chapter in her life, no doubt. Following this decision, a series of greatest hits and remix albums came out, doing modestly well but failing to capture the buzz of her earlier works. Then, in 2005, Britney welcomed her first child, Sean Preston Federline, making the beginning of her journey as a mother. Kevin Federline, the man who had become her partner, was just another backup dancer. Now, it all started when Kevin was hired by Britney to perform on stage. His rise from a mere employee to a high-profile partner was nothing short of a lottery win, of course. Overnight, he went from economy flights to private jets, from being a behind-the-scenes figure to sharing the spotlight with one of the world's biggest stars. Within weeks of their romance starting, Britney was talking about marriage. Not long after, she was proposing to him. To the outside world, Britney was just diving headfirst into another relationship that was doomed to fail. This kept going on, and then, eventually in 2007, rolled around when Britney was at the height of global fame. She was the most searched for person on the internet, and her every move was constantly shadowed by a relentless pack of about 30 photographers. The constant scrutiny left her feeling betrayed by those around her, including her family and friends, who she felt had let her down. For those who follow Britney closely, her sudden breakdown wasn't entirely unexpected. The signs had been there in bizarre public incidents like stripping off clothes in stores and walking around naked. So when Britney famously shaved her head, it wasn't a complete shock. But the rawness of the moment, coupled with images of her swinging an umbrella at a paparazzo's car, was startling. It was a dramatic and unsettling public unraveling and a clear sign that Britney was struggling. Another incident occurred with her children. During a visit, Britney was reluctant to return one of her kids and ended up barricading herself in a bathroom with him. The situation escalated, leading to a 5150 hold, which is used for individuals deemed a danger to themselves or others. The media, like always, captured every grim detail. They caught her being wheeled away on a gurney and also crying in an ambulance. This was the moment when Britney's plight became a public spectacle rather than a personal crisis. The larger context of her life, filled with unrelenting pressure and lack of support, was often lost in the sensational headlines. In this storm of chaos, one of the few voices of reason came from an unexpected source, a teenager named Chris Crocker. His viral "Leave Britney Alone" video was met with ridicule, but represented one of the rare instances of empathy in this sea of judgment. Crocker understood Britney's struggles while also recognizing the pressure she faced and the loss of privacy and family support. His plea for compassion highlighted the stark difference between public curiosity and genuine concern. But the constant battle for privacy when it came to Spears was far from over. You see, after Britney's very public breakdown, a judge put a conservatorship in place to help manage her life. This is a legal arrangement usually meant for people who are too sick or mentally unstable to take care of themselves. For Britney, this meant two separate conservatorships, one to handle her personal needs and another for her money. Her father, Jamie Spears, was initially put in charge of both parts. But by 2019, Jamie had to step down from managing Britney's personal affairs because of his own health issues. A temporary conservator took over her day-to-day life, while Jamie kept control over her finances, though he now shares that responsibility with a financial management company. This setup means Britney, despite her wealth and fame, can't make many decisions about her own life or money. Imagine having your life and finances controlled by someone else. That's been Britney's reality. Over the years, the situation has sparked a whirlwind of rumors and conspiracy theories. Britney's fans have been closely watching her social media and searching for any hints about her true condition. This constant scrutiny has turned her story into a favorite subject for documentaries and media speculation. The reason for all this interest is simple though. Very few people know what's really happening behind the scenes. Britney's life, once full of sparkle and fame, now has layers of control and secrecy that intrigue and concern many. This legal arrangement, typically reserved for those unable to manage their own affairs, was a sign of just how severe the situation had become. Early on, Britney voiced her frustration over the restrictions imposed by the conservatorship and even expressed a desire for basic freedoms like driving her own car. Jordan Miller, who ran a Britney fan site called Breathe Heavy, noticed something was amiss and coined the phrase "Free Britney," igniting a movement. Despite a successful comeback with records and a Vegas residency, there was an undercurrent of unease. Britney's cancellation of her 2019 Domination Vegas residency, citing her father's health and her subsequent stay in a mental health facility, raised red flags for many fans. The podcast Britney's Gram, hosted by comedians analyzing her Instagram posts, featured an anonymous caller who claimed Britney was being medicated against her will. This revelation fueled public protest and activism, which then marked the beginning of the Free Britney movement. In terms of this, Britney's June 23, 2021 court statement was a pivotal moment. For the first time, she spoke directly about the conservatorship, revealing her misery and the severe restrictions imposed on her. Spears' conservatorship had reached into nearly every corner of her life and was controlling not just her finances and career, but also deeply personal aspects. Imagine having your freedom restricted to the point where decisions about your visits with your teenage sons, your ability to remarry, and even what color your kitchen cabinets are painted are made for you. In a heartfelt plea to the court in June, Britney revealed the extent of this control. She said she wanted to get married and have a baby. Due to the conservatorship, she wasn't able to do any of that because she was still seen as a threat years after her erratic behavior went viral everywhere. Not only that, but Britney also explained that the conservators wouldn't allow her to have birth control removed, which was a decision that profoundly impacted her personal life. The singer then finally also shared that she was forced to go on tour against her will, made to take medication she didn't want, and sent into rehab despite her objections. This, of course, confirmed many rumors that were swirling about at the time regarding Britney's health being controlled. The New York Times even got hold of documents that very clearly revealed that the singer's conservatorship was influencing the most mundane aspects of her life, aspects that seemingly had nothing to do with her well-being. The situation became even more unsettling when a documentary by the New York Times uncovered allegations that Britney's phone and bedroom had been bugged by security staff working for her father. This invasive level of control paints a disturbing picture of how deeply the conservatorship had permeated her personal and private life. Eventually, the conservatorship, which had begun with Britney Spears as its head, had become a tangled mess involving various parties. Jamie dismissed the Free Britney movement as absurd, but public opinion continued to challenge the conservatorship's legitimacy. As the movement gained momentum, it highlighted a deeper issue about women's autonomy and the broader implications of conservatorships. If someone as powerful and wealthy as Britney could be so controlled, it raised questions about the fate of those without such resources. The system, designed to protect, had become a mechanism of control, and Britney's plight exposed its flaws. Ultimately, Britney's documentaries over her life have become more than a tale of a pop star's fall from grace. They're a reflection on the systemic issues of control and autonomy and a call to address the failures of a broken system. The Free Britney movement has brought these issues to light, advocating for reform and reminding us that behind the headlines is a person deserving of dignity and support. As Britney fights for her freedom, her journey remains a powerful reminder of the need for compassion and justice in the face of overwhelming adversity. So, what are your thoughts on Britney Spears finally breaking out of the powers that have put her down for so long? Let us know in the comments section below. Don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to our channel. I'll see you next time.